Okay, hello everybody. First off, I want to do a shout out to somebody called John Burkle, who is an amazing artist and quite just a brilliant guy. Really, he definitely knows his stuff from witchcraft and stuff like that. He's definitely got his head screwed on when it comes to the craft. And I just sort of want to do a shout out and say hey and hello. And also, if you get the chance, check out his Facebook page, which is called Jonathan Blackthorn, and that's all his art. He's very, very talented. He's definitely got a gift and he's got a skill, and it's all sort of witchcraft orientated artwork. So it's quite good. It's not quite good. It's brilliant. He's an amazing artist. Okay, so first off, well, what this video is about, I want to do a book review really, and I haven't done one in a long time, only because I've had to read the book first. I mean, I got to the stage where I could have, but I'd rather would have read the whole book. I had like a tiny bit left. So I finally got the book out of the way, and it is The Witching Way of the Hollow Hill by Robin Artisan. It's quite a thick book. And I was waiting for this in the post, sort of wetting myself with excitement, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, in regards to the book, he's regarded as quite a controversial author. He's regarded as, a lot of his ideas are very controversial and maybe seen as cutting edge. Robin Artisan has also a reputation via online, but I'm not going into that. But I do know that he has, only from speaking to various people and seeing various threads. Now this book itself, the moment I opened it up, it kind of done the whole stereotypical, I hate saying this, sort of pagan thing of slating down Christianity. I am not anti-Christian in any way, shape or form. I don't really see a problem with the religion itself or the people that practice it. And so of course I had to read through that and, sort of still, I think it's when you read something that you don't agree with, you're trying to see the author's point of view, but it's hard when they're sort of really going for it. I mean, he did sort of rip into Christianity quite a lot. In terms of his ideas, he has various ideas about the dead and about fate that I don't agree and I don't necessarily agree in. One, like, huge part being that when you die, your personality, your memories die too, and it's just your spirit, it's the fetch, basically, that travels to the underworld and so forth. So, I mean, from personal experience, spiritualism and stuff like that, I have to disagree, only because whenever I've worked and communicated with spirits, I find that it isn't like that, and it's basically talking to them when they were alive. He's got a lot of ideas. He's got a lot of sort of different, thoughts on witchcraft in general. I find he tends to drone on a little bit. And basically, I mean, it will take it took like a whole chapter, and it was like, now I'm going to tell you about what your soul's made up of, now I'm going to tell you about what forms it comes in, now I'm going to tell you about fate, now I'm going to tell you about destiny, and it went on and on a bit, and it got to the point, it was a bit like, it was a bit sort of rolling my eyes, just because I found that a lot of the things, a lot of his work, he could have said them in one sentence, and that's just how I felt. I was tempted to skip chapters, but some points were very hard for me to persevere with, but I did. So I found it didn't really, a lot of his explanations could have been condensed a lot more. However, that's not to slate the book down completely, because I'm not doing that, I'm just giving a review. The rituals in there I find very, very empowering. Certain techniques that he does, such as the witch sight and the hissing technique, I found that very, very empowering, and it's added something new to my work, so I'm not going to slate it down. The bit at the back, which is basically like a ritual book, of everything. That is just, yeah, it's sort of, it's, you know, there's a lot of different invocations, and the invocations are great. They're very poetic, they're very dramatic expression, and it's something, the techniques are good. You know, it's a good book to read. Definitely read it, but beware that he does tend to go on a lot, explaining things, and it drags it on a lot more than it actually should be. Pardon me. There are a lot of his things, a lot of his ideas and arguments as well, I find contradict themselves within the book. One particular, there are a lot of ways he contradicts himself, but one particular way he contradicts himself is he slates off how the uprise of Christianity influenced Hinduism in some way, to, rather than worshipping all the gods, to focus on one higher god, and then there was the gods after that, and basically said, this was Christianity's fault and it shouldn't go like this, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But then at the same time, in another chapter, he talks about how the Vikings at one point worshipped many gods, but then at one point stuck to Odin and stuck to worshipping Odin, and this was quite good, this was quite a successful thing. So there are a lot of things that didn't add up and didn't match up. What else? I mean, yeah, you know, his ritual techniques themselves are quite good. The section on the red mill, that's good, you know, and sort of the section on various different areas where you can access and go into the realms of Alpha-May and communicate with spirits. Quite good, you know, again, you know, so I'm not slating it off completely. It's basically, when it does get to the ritualistic part, it is mainly all ritualistic witchcraft as well. There's not really any operative witchcraft in there. So yeah, is, you know, I mean, but in terms of sort of, you know, his section on the witch gods, that's pretty good. You know, and the pictures there are really nice. They're really nicely illustrated pictures, and really nice, you know, explanations. His part on the pale people, his use of that is pretty good. You know, his sort of explanations on the dead, that's really good. It is mainly focused on traditional British witchcraft. However, the author is American and from America. He's been to northern England a couple of times, but yeah, it's sort of a bit, you know, which is fine. I know some American people that do practice traditional British witchcraft, but, you know, anyway. So yeah, this is my book review on Robin Artisan, The Witching Way of the Hollow Hill. I do want to read, well, I have sort of skimmed through his other books called The Horn of Evenwood, which to me look pretty good, but again, is mainly the ritualistic ritual witchcraft approach, rather than operative witchcraft, which is the sort of spell aspect. He's more into how to lay a compass, how to cast a river of souls, how to light fires in order to be a portal for which the gods and spirits to travel. So it's very much, it's quite good for your technique, so to speak. I don't really want to say that, like, it's good for the way in which you practice, and it's put a lot of perspective on how I practice, and it has actually helped me, but at the same time it does drone on a little bit. But yeah, I think I've managed everything and said everything, and that's the book again. And thank you for watching, and over and out. Peace.